40 pounds of food out of a bed that's 4 feet by 4 feet. That number sounds made up until you run it against 16 square feet planted right for a full season. Most people look at a bed that size and figure it's barely worth building. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what goes into those 16 square feet and in what order, so one small bed keeps producing from the first seed to the last harvest of the year. I built my first 4x4 thinking it was a starter project, something I'd replace with something bigger by July. It didn't happen that way. That bed outproduced 2 of my larger ones the same season, and it took me a full year to understand why. There's one measurement that decides how much food comes out of a bed this size, and it has nothing to do with the soil. My first raised bed wasn't this one. It was 8 feet by 4, built the same spring I decided I was serious about growing my own food. Bigger seemed like the obvious move. More space, more food, simple math. I filled it, planted it once in April, and by July half of it was empty dirt with a couple of tired pepper plants holding on in the other half. Nothing was wrong with the soil, nothing was wrong with the plants I picked. The problem was I planted it once and walked away from it, the same way you'd plant a flower bed. That bed gave me maybe 15 pounds all season, on twice the space of the one I'm about to walk you through. There's a specific reason a smaller bed, handled differently, beat it by a wide margin. Most people never find that reason because it has almost nothing to do with the size of the box. Here's what I believe after building a lot of these now. The 40 pounds doesn't come from the size of the bed, it comes from how many times you replant it in one season. A bed replanted 3 times will consistently outproduce a bed twice its size that's planted once and left alone. Size feels like the answer. It isn't. Turnover is. This is built for the space most people actually have. One bed 4 feet by 4 feet, 16 square feet total. A patio corner, a strip beside the driveway, anywhere that gets 6 hours of sun works. 4 things decide what this bed produces: how you build it, how densely you plant it, what you plant, and how you keep it working after the first harvest comes in. That last one is where almost every backyard grower loses the most food without ever realizing it's happening. Start with how you build it, because this part gets rushed more than any other. 4 feet wide isn't arbitrary. The average person can reach about 2 feet without stepping into the bed and compacting the soil around the roots. 4 feet means you can reach the center from either side. Go wider, 6 feet, 8 feet, and there's a strip down the middle nobody can reach without climbing in. A center strip you can't reach turns into the junk drawer of the garden. Everybody's got one, nobody wants to deal with it. Depth matters just as much and gets ignored more. 12 inches minimum, deeper if you're growing anything with a real root system. And if you're using pressure-treated lumber, which most of us are because it's affordable and holds up, the treatment itself isn't the issue people worry about. It's been safe for food beds for decades. What shortens the life of that wood is the cut ends. Treatment only penetrates about an inch into the board, so every time you cut a piece to length, you expose untreated wood right at the joint, which is exactly where rot starts first. A coat of sealant on every cut end before you assemble it adds years to that bed for the cost of one can. While you're at it, lay the boards with the growth rings curving downward like a frown, not upward. Rings that curve up hold a little pool of water every time it rains, and that's the spot that rots first. It's a small thing. Nobody mentions it. It's also the reason some beds are still solid at year 10 while others are falling apart at year 4. Once it's built, the next thing that decides your yield is how densely you plant it, because most people still space vegetables the way their grandfather did, with a garden tractor that's never coming through a backyard bed. In a bed this size, you plant by the square foot instead, and the numbers change depending on what's going in. Leaf lettuce, 4 plants to a square. Bush beans, 9 to a square. Green onions, 16 because they barely take up any room at all. Zucchini is the outlier. One plant needs a full 4 square feet to itself, since nothing else in this bed sprawls the way zucchini does. This is where things actually start to change. 4 plants carry most of this bed. Bush beans, leaf lettuce, zucchini, and green onions. Each one earns its square footage in a different way. Bush beans keep producing for weeks off the same plant if you're picking every 2 or 3 days. Leaf lettuce is cut and come again. You take the outer leaves and it keeps growing, so one planting gives you 6 or 7 harvests instead of 1. Green onions barely take up room and you're never without something ready to pull. And zucchini, once it gets going, can put out 2 to 4 pounds a week off a single plant. Zucchini doesn't ask twice either. Skip checking it for 4 days and you go from picking dinner to handing your neighbor something the size of a baseball bat. What's currently taking up space in your garden that isn't earning it back? Drop it below. I read every comment. Here's the part that separates a 15-pound season from a 40-pound one, and it's the part almost nobody does. Green onions and leaf lettuce are usually finished or ready for their last cut, somewhere around 8 weeks in. That's roughly a third of the bed sitting empty if you stop there. That space gets replanted the same week, not the same month. Letting that empty section sit for a week feels harmless. So does letting mail pile up on the counter. Both turn into a bigger job than if you'd just handled it the day it showed up. A second round of lettuce or beans, if there's enough season left where you live, goes right back in. Meanwhile, the zucchini and bush beans keep running through that same stretch without needing to be touched at all. By the time the first frost is close, that section of the bed has been planted 2 or 3 times over, while the rest never stop producing. That's the whole difference between 15 pounds and 40. The same 16 square feet asked to work 3 times instead of once. I've built bigger beds since that first 8x4. None of them work harder, pound for pound, than a well-built, well-timed 4x4. It's the better version, whether your space is big or small. If you're starting from nothing, build the bed this week. 12 inches deep at minimum, sealant on every cut end before you assemble it. Bush beans and leaf lettuce go in first. They're the most forgiving for a first attempt. Zucchini and green onions can follow once you've got a feel for how the first 2 are doing. And the moment anything finishes, whatever replaces it, goes in that same week, not whenever you get around to it. If you're working with even less than 16 square feet, containers on a patio follow the same math, just scaled down. The plant counts per square foot stay about the same. You're just deciding how many squares you actually have room for. Subscribing is the easiest way to keep up with builds like this one as the season goes. There's a free calculator on the channel website. Pick your space, pick what you want to grow, and it builds out the full plan for you. Links in the description if you want to build yours out before you plant. I look at that first 8x4 bed sometimes and I don't regret building it. I just wish someone had told me the size was never the problem. Honestly, I'd build this exact 4x4 before anything larger. It's the version most people actually finish, and finish beats ambitious every single time.